What is going on, guys? It is WrestleMania here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a former champion ready to return, a shock WWE title change incoming, is Rhea Ripley main eventing WrestleMania, WWE goes wild at a live event, John Cena responds to Backlash, a legend called out for a match, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's do the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at a former WWE champion ready to return. Now our top story today looks at the latest return coming to WWE television. Royal Rumble season is officially heating up, and now it's been reported that former WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton is now injury-free and is ready to return to WWE programming. The first outlet who reported this were BodySlam Plus via Patreon, and the outlet added that Stratton is expected to play a prominent role for WrestleMania 42 this coming April. Sources confirmed to BodySlam that Stratton has been out of action with an undisclosed injury, but she's now ready to return. Tiffany Stratton was last seen on WWE television at Saturday night's main event on November 1st, where she lost the WWE Women's Championship to Jade Cargill. Stratton is expected to be featured prominently headed into WrestleMania. Now there's now speculation on what exactly Stratton's role could be at WrestleMania. Stratton versus reigning champion Jade Cargill has been done a number of times last year, and fans are definitely crying out for something new and fresh. Does Stratton get drafted to Raw? That's certainly an option, and we can certainly expect her to stake a claim for one of the top prizes within the women's division when she makes her return. Next up, a shock WWE title change incoming. Now we've already seen a shocking title change this month as Drew McIntyre defeated Cody Rhodes to become WWE Champion, but this may not be the only title change we see before WrestleMania. According to Ibu of Self-Made, the original WrestleMania plans were indeed Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes Part 3, and Reigns was going to defeat Rhodes for the WWE title. The original direction was literally simply Cody is going to hold this deal until Mania, and then Roman was going to go to Mania and beat him. Triple H wanted to get some surprises in there, and he wanted to maybe throw some monkey wrenches into the road. He wants Cody to win. The report added that McIntyre pitched an angle which saw him inserted as the middleman in the feud. Drew McIntyre was the guy who pitched this, and Drew was smart because now what he realized is, I'm pitching things that can benefit me, but I know it'll go through because it'll benefit the overall promotion and what they're trying to do with their big thing. The plan as of last week was Drew McIntyre was going to be the middleman in this Cody Roman story. The idea was going to be Drew McIntyre was going to hold a championship. It was going to lead to Cody Rhodes shifting his character ever so slightly. The report culminates by saying that Rhodes was most likely going to defeat McIntyre before WrestleMania, and remains to be seen if that's still on the table. Roman Reigns was most likely going to challenge Drew McIntyre and beat Drew McIntyre at some point in this process, and then he was going to face a challenging Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, so we'll see how that goes. But that's what Paul Levesque was trying to pull off here. WWE does risk a significant backlash if McIntyre doesn't walk into WrestleMania as WWE Champion. Fans have pushed for McIntyre to receive a substantial reign for years, and WWE risked the fans turning on Roman Reigns. Based on the social media responses to these reports, there's a lack of desire for Reigns versus Rhodes Part 3, and the return of calls for WWE to go in a different direction. One thing WWE deserves praise for is that the road to WrestleMania is now unpredictable, and this is making the television product incredibly exciting. There are so many players hovering around the WWE title picture, including Jacob Fatu and Randy Orton, and it'll be interesting to see what direction they actually go in. It all acts as very interesting programming. Next up, NXT wrestlers were blindsided by the raids. Now it seems that NXT has reportedly been caught off guard by a wave of unexpected promotions to the company's main roster. According to Ibu of Self-Made Pro, several key performers were suddenly pulled from NXT and elevated to WWE's main roster without proper communication or planning with NXT leadership. Their entire show has been raided. Jordan Grace got taken, Obafemi got taken, Trick Williams got taken, Javon Evans, so on and so forth. So here's an actual fact check. A lot of this call-up stuff has come together very late, and I have reasonable evidence that there was not a lot of coordination and collaboration between the main roster and NXT on how to do this. It seems that these abrupt call-ups have made some problems for ongoing narratives and future plans. NXT also expected that at least some wrestlers like Obafemi and Javon Evans would actually continue appearing on both NXT and main roster shows until around WrestleMania weekend, but those expectations were upended when the pulls happened sooner and more comprehensively than anticipated. What do you guys think? Were there too many main roster call-ups in one go? Next up is Rhea Ripley main eventing WrestleMania. Could Rhea Ripley be about to main event Mania 42? Well, according to the report on Self-Made, WWE is considering Ripley versus Io Sky for WrestleMania, and it could main event either night 1 or night 2 of the show. The only women's match that would main event WrestleMania this year would be that matchup, Rhea versus Io. Io versus Rhea would be a match that could main event one of the nights, and that's been mentioned in meetings. The report adds that the plans for the Women's World title are up in the air for WrestleMania, but Ripley vs Sky is a match that has been considered. Next up is a SmackDown GM actually wrestling. And Nick Aldis has solely been featured as an authority figure since signing with WWE, but this doesn't mean that the talented in-ring star isn't interested in wrestling for the promotion. The former TNA World Champion spoke on the Keeping It 100 podcast, and Aldis confirmed that if WWE wants him to wrestle, he has no issues in doing so. However, Aldis would add that for now, he's fully committed to his GM role on the Blue brand. I made a commitment to this role, so it's kind of like, hey, this is my spot on the show, this is my gig, and when this was first laid out to me, it was 2 years ago, which is crazy to think about now that it's already been 2 years. It's worth noting that Aldis doesn't just work as an on-air authority figure in the company, he's also a producer who works on Raw, SmackDown, and PLEs. Therefore, if Aldis wanted to have another in-ring stint, this would mean that he would have to leave his producer duties aside for the time being. Would you guys want to see Nick Aldis in the ring? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, WWE stars are a huge draw. WWE's merch department are usually at the top of their game, so if a popular wrestler releases new merchandise, WWE carries substantial stock of their merchandise. Wrestlers selling out of their new merch is therefore extremely rare, however this week it finally happened. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky had an official merch drop and it sold out in a matter of hours. Ripley would even share a post on X confirming the news, and now it's been reported that WWE were forced to deliver a major restock of the merch. This actually shows just how popular the tag team unit is. It makes a ton of sense as to why WWE has crowned Rhea as the new women's tag team champions. Next up, WWE goes wild at a live event. The WWE live events are rare in 2026, but they're currently touring Europe, and last night's live event in Mannheim, Germany was wild to say the very least. WWE would deliver huge matches such as Drew McIntyre versus Ilya Dragunov versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE title, and they even brought back mixed person tag matches as Alexa Bliss teamed with Dragon Lee to take on Asuka and Kofi Kingston. The opening contest saw Gunther take on El Grande Americano, and this is worth noting as this saw two real-life best friends collide, as the Americano persona is currently being portrayed by Ludwig Kaiser, or so they say. The show itself was headlined by CM Punk successfully defending against Bronson Reed, and Punk even had a special moment with the talented Javon Evans. Also in a heartwarming moment, Punk also gave his shirt to a fan who had a Larry poster in the crowd. Next up, The Miz shoots on fans. A former WWE champion, The Miz, has sounded off when it comes to his treatment from the fans. In a rare out-of-character interview with Chris Van Vliet, The Miz stated that he feels the disrespect from the crowd, but he believes the flowers he receives are half dead, and he doesn't receive the full respect names such as John Cena receives. Yes, I feel the respect, I feel it in the locker room, I feel it in the crowd, but I'll hear you say it. Oh, Miz has gotten his flowers. Know what kind of flowers I get? I get the ones that are half dead that you give to me and they're gonna die the next day. You don't give me a full bouquet of flowers that are like, here are your flowers. John Cena gets the flowers, I don't get the flowers. I get the half dead flowers that are like, here you go, here's your flowers. We're giving you your flowers. It's the half-assed flowers. The Miz would also discuss how his heel antics rarely receive boos from the crowd, but he notes that he doesn't really suit being a babyface act. 2026 actually marks 22 years since The Miz signed with WWE, making him one of the most tenured stars in the entire promotion. Next up, John Cena responds to Backlash. John Cena has publicly addressed the Backlash to his final match versus Gunther. A lot of fans were critical of Cena tapping out against Gunther, and during a recent fan expo, this is what Cena had to say when it comes to the vast criticism. Thank you for being vocal enough to express how you felt. I put together a story that I think y'all would enjoy. When there's a critical opinion out there, I'm all ears. Don't ignore critics. I'm thankful for them at DC and everywhere before that. Like I said, I guess it kind of parallels my career. I think it was a perfect end because a whole lot of people thought it sucked. A whole lot of people thought it was special, and that's kind of been my story for 23 years, so I thought it was perfect. Defeating Cena in his final ever match is perhaps the biggest win any wrestler could ever attain, and WWE has to follow this up with meaningful stories. WWE has moved forward with a Gunther vs AJ Styles program, and all signs are pointing towards that story culminating at WrestleMania 42, with what could be AJ's final ever pro wrestling match. And finally, a WWE legend called out for a match. Our final story today looks at Trish Stratus, as a WWE Hall of Famer has been officially challenged to come out of retirement for another match. WWE veteran Natalya spoke about Stratus on the Cruise Control podcast, and Natalya called out Stratus for having a featured matchup. I think we need to see a match between Natty and Trish Stratus, and I don't think Trish Stratus could really hang with Natty, if that makes sense. So if Trish Stratus has the balls to come and hang with Natty, then she can come let me know, but I would love to see that. I know she can hang with Natalya and probably beat Natalya pretty easily, but I don't know if Trish has it in her to hang with Natty. Trish, that's your open challenge. There's now speculation that WWE could legitimately be planning this match for WrestleMania 42 in April. Stratus is an extremely popular name, and if she's interested in wrestling again, it makes sense to include her on the card in some capacity. As for Natalya, she's the most seasoned active wrestler within the women's division, and it'd be fitting to see her receive a singles match on the grand stage of WrestleMania. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.